Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Bit of a shock over in Japan this morning, because Christian Medina Jimenez, to give him his full name, um, he stops the previously unbeaten YOSHIKI Takeei to take Takai's WBO bantamweight title, and he does it in only 4 rounds. Now, this was Takai's third, I think it was his third defence of the WBO belt. He won it from Jason Maloney on a unanimous decision. And he, in the past, he's looked very, very good. But he looked strangely out of sorts. I've seen him fight before several times against an inspired Jimenez, Medina Jimenez, whatever he calls himself. I think he calls himself Medina, calls himself Medina, Christian Medina. But Medina did look like a man on a mission. He looked like a man possessed, and he went straight after Takai from the word go. Takai, there was a little bit of, cat and mouse going on in the first couple of rounds. But then when they exchanged, I think it was near one of the corners, Takai, I think, initiated the exchange, but Medina came back with a huge sort of right hook and landed flush on Takai's jaw and knocked him over, and it was a heavy knockdown. Now, Takai is a southpaw, didn't seem to bother the orthodox Medina at all. But when Takai got up, he looked shaken, he looked wobbly. He made it back to the end of the round, no problem. And in the second round, there was he looked a bit gun shy, Medina. It looked like he hadn't fully, maybe psychologically recovered. It was a very bad start. Therefore, if you're a great champion, if you're any kind of champion, you have to just shake off that bad start and just move on and regroup. He couldn't do it within the minute between rounds 1 and 2, and Medina just went after him. And every time Medina landed, he looked like he was at least causing Takai some real discomfort. And to be honest with you, I don't really think there was a single minute of any round. It only lasted 3.5 rounds. I don't think there was a single minute that I gave Takai. Medina does have heavy hands. This is his 26th win, and 19 are inside the distance. He has been beaten 4 times. This is the thing. I mean, this is what we talk about before. Many, many times I've mentioned that, okay, you lose a few fights early on in your career and you can bounce back and learn from those mistakes. And he's still only 25, Medina. But he is the champion now, WBO champion. He's actually fought in Japan before. He fought in Osaka, lost a 12-round decision to Ryosuke Nishida. And he's had, like I say, he's had other defeats, but they were, 2 of them were like back-to-back, an 8-rounder and a 10-rounder about 6 years ago. So again, that would have made him, 19? Again, you're learning on the job sometimes, and records can be deceptive. So when he went over to Japan, this was in Nagoya, and to take on Takai, who's one of the local heroes. As we know, Japanese boxing's flying, absolutely flying. He was prepared. He was fully prepared. I've seen it all before. I'm only 25, but in terms of experience, I'm 30. I'm 32. And he really did put some meat on those punches, and he clearly hurt. I mean that knockdown with the right hand when they were exchanging, the physicality of Medina, not remotely bothered by what Takai was offering, and he swung that right hand in, slap bang on Takai's jaw. It was quite surprising Takai got up. But it did show the mindset of Medina. And once, the second round began, and Takai had that a little bit of a timid look about him, you thought the writing could be on the wall here. And sure enough, it was, because in the 4th round, Medina continued just, battering Takai, got him in the corner, just let a fusillade of punches go. And Takai was defenceless in the corner. The referee stepped in, quite rightly. Takai had been taking too many headshots throughout the fight anyway. Defensively, he looked quite poor. So he now slips to 11 wins. He's got 9 KOs in the wins column. Takai, he's 29, so older Older than Medina, 29 for a bantamweight. I suppose he's quite old. Like I said, he's a southpaw. But now he's got that one defeat. It's a bad defeat. He was distraught afterwards in his corner, in tears. Understandable. He feels he let everyone down. He didn't really. You give it your all, don't you? And you do what you can. But he made a couple of successful defences of the WBO belt, and who's to say he won't get another chance? But for Medina, 25 years old, battle hardened is the phrase I would use for Medina. 25 wins and 4 defeats, all 4 defeats on points. He's learned the hard way. No one's given him anything, and he was ready. He's not only ready to fight for the belt and win it, but he looks ready to to defend it successfully a few times. I mean, it was a very, very imposing, impressive performance by Medina. It really was. And I mean, he's familiar to Japanese fans. We all know that the IBF champ is Junto Nakatani. He won't be interested in Medina. He wants our friend up at 122, his compatriot, Mr. Inoue, certain Mr. Inoue, who, by the way, is fighting MJ Magmadaliov later on. So I'm going to be doing a review of that. But if you haven't seen this fight, I watched it using the proverbial other means with Spanish commentary, Mexican. I think it was a Mexican station. It was ESPN3, Vivo, I think it was called. I don't need commentators I know what I'm looking at, and I don't speak Spanish, but it was an impressive performance. Trust me. Go and have a look if you can get it. It'll probably pop up on YouTube for half an hour at some point before it gets taken down for copyright reasons. But I liked what I saw. I liked an awful lot of what I saw with Medina. Very, very impressive performance. Anyway, let me know what you think if you do see the fight. What do you think about Japanese boxing? Finally, one of the Japanese champs has been knocked off by a bloody foreigner. But yeah, Mexico's got another world champ. Not bad, eh? All right, thanks for watching the video. If you did like it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and all that usual good stuff that you normally do to help us out. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon, ladies and gentlemen. Bye for now.